Hi friends, I'm David Pine, and I wanted to take a minute to share with you some of the innovations we're leveraging inside the GitHub Copilot app, specifically around their extensibility points for creating custom canvases. We've done that on the Aspire team, and I have the ability now to start from a canvas, a new session, and we're going to actually choose the OG viewer. This is OpenGraph viewer, and then we can select a repo to open it in. I'm going to choose Aspire.dev. Now, this is going to launch our custom canvas, and this canvas is it's a really cool feature, but our canvas was designed specifically to help us improve SEO. So search engine optimization. And we wanted to visualize how our website renders. So we have our browser ability here. We can navigate through pages. And let's just make a few selections to kind of look nice. All right, so this is the Build Your First Aspire app page. Now you'll see some different tabs here in our canvas. So we've got our URL. We've got the ability to change and preview it, refresh it. We can actually open it up in a browser separate from the app if we wanted to. But each of these tabs will have different purposes. So the browse is to just navigate to a page that you're concerned with. And this does support localhost too, which is very important. Let's go to previews. And this is our view of example renderings for sharing this URL. So if this full URL was shared on different platforms like Facebook or Blue Sky, Mastodon, Reddit, Teams, Discord, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever it may be, this is how it would render on those platforms. And that's important for us to help kind of visualize and make sure that we've got all the right metadata in the right places. Now, in addition to that, we can also look at the raw metadata, and this shows things like our OpenGraph details. We've got like our PNG coming through, and if you hover on it, our canvas will actually render that as a preview. We've got our get source URL. Our canvas actually detects those as well and renders those. So this is an MDX file. So if I hover over that, you can see it actually pulls down the get source for that MDX file and shows how that renders. And this is all just coming from the metadata from that rendered HTML, or that URL rather, here. So let's go look at the diagnostics. So this is where things get pretty interesting. So the diagnostics tab is where I'm spending a lot of my time kind of evaluating our site and verifying which pages need work. So we have things like our title or the type, an image, URL, description. These are all quote unquote passed. We've got like a way to kind of make sure that we're hitting the minimal bar. We've got certain things that are recommended, and that's all codified within our canvas here. Now, when we scroll down, we can see things like the OG image type. This is the MIME type for the image. It says optional, and it has this little indicator here that something, something we might want to look at. So we can actually expand that. And it has a lot of information for us right here. It says, why it matters. This advertises the image's MIME type so crawlers can validate and decode it without sniffing. How would you fix it? Well, you would probably add the appropriate MIME type. And then this is the meta property that it's looking for and the expected content. And isn't this convenient? We actually have the ability right here within our canvas to leverage an AI fix. So, you might want to copy that and run it. Or alternatively, we can actually, create an issue if we wanted to track it that way, if we didn't have time right now to look at it. Or we can literally click this button, which is Open in Copilot. So this is our canvas surfacing a concern for a live URL, detecting that there's a prompt that it also provided saying, here's the fix. And we can have this button in our canvas that opens up a new session. So it says session requested. Now, once that gets going, I can minimize this, and you can see that we have a new session. This will become a sub-session, and it's going to come from the OG viewer, the Canvas action, open session, and it's got all of the details. So it's got a prompt, and it's going to start cooking. It's going to start working on actually implementing these changes, and it's going to draft a PR. I think this is a huge advantage as a developer to start having ad hoc canvases that you can leverage to quickly surface issues, create issues, or take it one step further and immediately start drafting a pull request based on a prompt. So this is a huge win for us in our productivity. I really think one of the coolest aspects about canvases and their ability to extend the GitHub Copilot app themselves is, in our case, this is entirely open source. And the canvas is not bound to Aspire.dev. In fact, it can be used for localhost or any URL you want. So instead of using some published OG viewer evaluator, just use this canvas and make it your own. Extend it even further and go forth and, be productive. Thank you so much. Take care.